Hey girls, it's Wednesday. So since I was super tired last week and did not make my video, this video comes in two parts. Part 1. Books. My go-to books are pretty simple. They were very easy to pick, unlike movies. The series I read most throughout the course of a year is Harry Potter. I pick this up at least 4 times a year to try to read all 7, and I never succeed to get through all 7, but I always read Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone. This is my English copy. I absolutely adore John Green, and if you don't know that about me, we can't be friends. And if you haven't read John Green, we can't be friends either. So definitely a good go-to pick for me is Looking for Alaska. This book just, even though it's really sad, it just makes me very happy, and this is what I want to do. It might take 5 years to do it, but I want to make my first book as great as Looking for Alaska is. I also had Catcher in the Rye. This book came to me with This book came with me to England because it was small and cute, but I never read it, as you can tell from the spine. I don't think I've ever read this copy because we got copies in school, but I like owning it. It's good to just own books, I think, and this is just one that I had to own, so I bought it. My big go-to book that I read at least once a year since I was a freshman in high school is Perks of Being a Wallflower. Bailey has not read this book yet, and Bailey needs to read this book because this book is amazing. Kendra, I'm sure you've read this book. If you haven't, you need to read it. Same goes with Laura and the rest of the WGCC. If you've not read this book, it's a must. It's YA. The movie is just starting to get made. This book is gold. This book is a staple for any book lover's collection because it's just beyond amazing. A go-to books list would not be complete without Paper Towns. This is Sad Margot. I have Happy Margot too, but she's out on loan right now. This book makes me so happy. I can just pick it up and turn to page 23 and just, I mean, like, it's highlighted. I love this passage. I have tabs in it. I have a train ticket in it. I must have taken it into the city for some reason. But this book is just, I've written in it, I've highlighted, between both copies, I've either highlighted or written or something. This book is a really great book. This is just, I love this man with all my heart and with all my soul, and I will never waver from his side, ever. Part 2, movies. I have to do this really fast because I picked like 10 movies and I talked about them for like 10 minutes. So I don't even know how to do this in order. A Beautiful Mind, amazing. Funny Girl, amazing. I love Streisand. Anything Streisand is in is amazing. I know Bailey is jealous of this. Moulin Rouge. How can you go through life without watching Moulin Rouge? Seriously. October Sky. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal is amazing, and he's got a really cute little accent. None of you have seen this movie, and all of you should. Adventures in Babysitting. If you've seen Rent and know who Anthony Rapp is, this is Anthony Rapp as a baby. Neat little fact that I know about this kind of crap. Anthony Rapp, when he was on location to film this, it's when he kind of figured out he was gay. Yeah. No movie collection would be good without this movie. Dead Poets Society. If you haven't seen this movie, you have to. Right now. You can borrow mine. It's amazing. Dazed and Confused. I love Anthony Rapp. 3 of his movies are in this pile alone. I think he's an amazing actor, even though he gets little parts. He's just great with those little one-liners. He really does those parts really, really well. And Dazed and Confused is just a huge cast, but it's an awesome 70s movie. Breakfast at Tiffany's. I know you've all seen this. You better have all seen this because this movie is amazing. And Audrey Hepburn is amazing. I like a lot of old-timey stuff. I grew up listening to movies of listening to music of like 50s and 60s and somewhat 70s, which is why I love the Beatles. And I also grew up to like that TV era and like that movie era because my mother really loves it and she taught me how to appreciate this stuff, and movies like this are not made anymore. If Perks of Being a Wallflower does well, it'll be, you know, a classic movie because it's a classic book, but movies are not made like this anymore. They really aren't. It's hard. The last movie that I really saw that I was just blown away by was probably in the theaters, besides Harry Potter, was probably Across the Universe, which I didn't bring off my shelf. It's like really high up because it's an English version and I can't watch it, so it just kind of sits on my shelf. But Audrey Hepburn is amazing. Neat little tidbit fact, when she was in My Fair Lady, that's not her singing. She doesn't know how to sing. So Julie Andrews was up for that role, but they told her no. We don't want you. We don't think you're pretty enough. And then she got cast in The Sound of Music, which made her career. So who fucked up there? None of you have seen this movie, and if you have, I love you more than life itself. This is the movie my director made us watch when we were preparing for Noises Off, because this movie has the dialogue speed that Noises Off does, and it's got really great diction, and it's in black and white. That's how old this movie is, but I love it so much. I watched it at least 3 times when we were working on Noises Off. I've watched it over and over again. It's just a wonderful, wonderful classic movie that's got great diction, great dialogue, really fast-paced, and it's great filmmaking at its best. Anything in black and white is good because they had to take the time up to learn their lines and learn their parts and become the characters. So if you see a black and white movie, it's ace. Anyway, this one is called His Girls Friday. I believe it's referenced in Gilmore Girls, because Gilmore Girls is amazing and they reference so many movies. But this is just beyond amazing. Cary Grant is beyond amazing. I love Cary Grant. I think he's an amazing actor. Just classic. I'm sorry for talking so fast, but I wanted this video to be relatively short. And I hope it is. I have to edit it down. But in the meantime, Kenzie, I'll see you on Friday. Laura, I'll see you on Sunday. And Bailey, I'll see you on Monday.